The latest. Thank you for your love and support. I appreciate you all. A very special shout out to Mr. Nelson for the love you are showing to the channel, and all my super thanks gifters. I say thank you so much. And all my channel supporters, my VIP, my kings and queens, I say thank you from the bottom of my heart. Family, stop what you are doing. The mask has fallen. They told you they were bringing you renewed hope. But on the global stage, they brought us renewed embarrassment. While the master sits in the Aso villa, his messengers are being dismantled by the very receipt they thought they burned. Daniel Bowler, the man who once called the president a drug baron and unfit to lead, just went head to head with the fire and he got burned. But this is not about one man. This is about a system where loyalty is a commodity and the truth is for sale. Africa, wake up. Today, we pull back the curtain on anyhow bald face politics that is keeping our people in chains. There is an old proverb from the soil of our ancestors. A dog that has a bone in his mouth cannot bark at the one who fed it. In the history of our struggle, from the time of Thomas Sankara to the AES defiance, we have seen leaders who stood for conviction. But today, we see a break. We see the political nomads. So look at the history of Nigeria from the 1990s roots of Sani Abacha to the present day. They tell you they are fighting corruption, yet they appoint the very people the world has indicted for laundering our children's future.
My guest today is Daniel Bwala, Special Advisor to President Tinubu of Nigeria. Let's talk more about your boss, President Tinubu. He's been on the political scene in Nigeria for decades, first as governor of Lagos and now as president since 2023. He's a very rich man in a very impoverished country, and there's a lot of mystery as to where he got his wealth, estimated to be in the billions of dollars. What do you say to people who highlight allegations against him of, quote, massive corruption and misappropriation of funds?
That's their opinion.
Actually, it's your opinion. In January 2023, you talked about the legal petition against him that involves, quote, massive corruption and misappropriation of funds. You were in the opposition and were very critical of his wealth.
Exactly verbatim what I said, because what you just say is not a true representation.
January 22nd, 2023, you said the petition against him involves massive corruption and misappropriation of funds belonging to the government of Lagos State, abuse of official office, conflict of interest.
I'm glad you said the petition against it.
Yeah.
Yeah, document that was taken to court.
That you highlighted.
I wasn't the one that went to court. And at that time, where was I?
You were an opposition member.
Thank you.
So should we not trust you when you say things as opposition?
What is the job of opposition?
To oppose?
Yeah, no, I'm glad you know it.
For the sake of opposing?
No, that's what you're adding.
I mean, you didn't just say that.
No, go to Westminster on Wednesday by 9 o'clock.
Okay.
You'll understand the job of the opposition.
You can do whataboutism all day, that's fine. You also said that, well, you know what doesn't happen in Westminster in the US Congress?
I know what does happen.
Well, I'm telling you what doesn't happen. Politicians don't accuse other politicians of setting up a militia. You said
they also accuse the governing party.
You said at the time.
On mistake in judgment in appointing someone that eventually turned out to be somebody in the Epstein
if you think that this is comparable to Starmer and Mandelson, good luck to you if that's your defense tonight. You said at the time that Tinubu started a militia to sway the election corruptly and that they even threatened you. So how can we take anything seriously you say tonight in his defense?
Your opinion, Nigerians.
So my opinion is your opinion. Sorry, Daniel, it's your opinion.
That was litigated in Nigeria to conclusion, and then as a country we moved on. We are more interested about the deliverables that we have for the Nigerian people, and we look for opportunities.
Nigerians are very concerned about corruption, and Tinubu, you said this, Tinubu and his people created a militia. This is the first time in the history of Nigeria we've seen a political party creating a militant arm leading to election. Your words, January 2023.
Context is everything.
There is no context.
I'm coming. You are quoting the things I said when I was in the opposition.
And I understand that's uncomfortable for you, but
no,
you did say them. If you want to disown them, that's fine.
For you to ask anything I've ever said.
So does he have a militia that tried to kill you?
He doesn't have. I never said he tried to kill me.
I myself have received threats from him and his camp. Your words.
I never said that.
You didn't say that at a press conference on January 22nd, 2023. You're just denying.
I never said that.
Who said it then? A lookalike?
No, I don't know what you meant by that. I know I complained at the time about the conduct of election.
It is not my fault that I am able to recall your words in a way you can't.
But it will be your fault when you read it out of context. Yeah.
And if we go home late tonight, context.
Yes.
Tinubu and his people created a militia. This is the first time in the history of Nigeria we've seen a political party creating a militant arm and leading to election. He advised his people should grab by all means necessary the process leading to elections, that they created this militia shortly after that. We have seen violence in Nigeria, and I myself have received threats from him and his camp.
Tinubu never created a militia. Tinubu is one of the foremost politicians in Nigerian history.
Tinubu and his people created a militia. Who said those words, Daniel?
Tinubu has helped in strengthening democracy in Nigeria.
Tinubu and his people created a militia, Daniel. Who said those words?
Tinubu brought in leadership
skills
into governance.
Tinubu and his people created a militia. Who said those words?
Tinubu and his people never created the militia.
So why did you say they did on January 22nd, 2023?
I never said that.
Let's keep going, since you're denying words that came out of your mouth. Let's quote some other folks. Daniel Bwala, thank you so much for joining me on Head to Head.
Thank you.
Nigeria is a proud, sovereign, independent nation, a powerhouse in Africa. So why did you just let Donald Trump and the United States bomb your country on Christmas Day?
The United States government did not bomb our country. The decision by the US government was anchored on the intelligence sharing between Nigeria and the United States and the agreement on the operation.
So Donald Trump just didn't bomb Nigeria on his own whim?
No. The US Secretary of State, Marco Rubio, called our own foreign affairs minister when the decision was made that that was the time to strike, and the foreign affairs minister got in touch with the president.
So this was a joint operation, you're saying?
Yes, it was a joint operation. On the Nigerian...
What I don't understand is, how can it be a joint operation? Yeah. Donald Trump says that there is a genocide going on against Christians carried out by Muslims with your government turning a blind eye. You've called that narrative a hoax. You said it creates discord in Nigeria.
Right.
So when Donald Trump says he's bombing Nigeria to protect Christians from a genocide, is he lying?
We both disagree as to whether the so-called genocide in Nigeria was against Christians. We believe that it is a targeted killing by insurgents, Boko Haram bandits, and all of these criminal elements against the people of Nigeria, Christians, Muslims, and those who have not identified with any religion. Donald Trump believed it is Christians. We now felt, rather than arguing about whether it is against Christians or not, there is one area we both agree, that we have a joint interest in the fight against terrorism.
But you're fine with the fact that his motivation is something you disagree with. You think it's a hoax?
Yes, because...
So when Donald Trump says there is a genocide against Christians in Nigeria, is he telling the truth?
It is a half-truth, in the sense that, yes, Christians have been affected, but the whole truth is that both Christians, Muslims, and those who have not identified. I said the narrative of Christian genocide was a hoax.
He's pushing it.
That's his opinion. Everybody's entitled to it.
Is he right or wrong?
We believe there is a targeted killing of all Nigerians. Evidence has showed. And that is where we are focused on fighting terrorism.
So let's talk about the terrorism.
Right.
Trump claimed he targeted, quote, ISIS terrorist scum.
Right.
And every camp got decimated. But a lot of investigative reporting on the ground shows that few, if any, combatants were killed. Some bombs landed in empty fields. A local leader in one of the districts said, the same militants we knew are still there, loitering around our communities.
No, there were killings of terrorists.
That's not what local leaders
So I can call local television that testified. Arise News did, Channels Television did.
Okay.
So there was the killing of terrorists.
Well, you're not on the ground, with respect.
No, I didn't.
Al-Haji Bunu, who's a traditional ruler in the district, says, we saw no dead bodies, even where the bombs fell. Those are his words.
No, because the bomb didn't fall in the town. It was at the camp, that enclave, where they gathered.
Are you okay with having the Americans bomb Nigerian people's homes?
I'm not aware of that one.
You're not aware of Morenike Saka, who said, I began to scream for help. I had to crawl my way out of the room. The missile tore through her apartment building, according to the Washington Post. How about Musa Soliu? I was in my room. I was buried under the ruins. I don't know how to restart my life. My belongings are destroyed.
Houses were not destroyed.
Are you telling us that Nigerian citizens are lying about being bombed by the US?
I am saying that the military operation that was conducted on that day was targeted as terrorists, and we hit them.
You have a history of not hitting terrorists and hitting civilians. You know that, right? Your country.
I'm not aware.
Oh, well, on December 21st, the Nigerian Air Force said that they handed over compensation to people who were hit in an accidental airstrike on Christmas Day 2024. Do you just bomb every Christmas?
When and when?
Christmas Day 2024 and Christmas Day 2025.
I dispute that fact.
We'll take it up with the Nigerian Air Force. Let me ask you this. Since President Tinubu came to office in 2023, the situation has worsened in your country. You have a mixture of militant groups, you have bandits, you have clashes between herders and farmers.
We also have
Nigeria is now
of foreign interest in Nigeria.
I'm sure. Nigeria is now the 5th deadliest country in the world. Are you proud of that record?
I acknowledge the fact that we have insecurity in Nigeria, and until the hoax narrative of the Christian genocide, then we began to see back-to-back attack in Nigeria we had for the first 2 years of the president's administration, a substantial peace in Nigeria.
Actually, the number of deaths went up on the president's watch.
After this incident of a Christian genocide. And by the way,
when did that begin?
There is no country of the world today that is free from insecurity.
No,
there
I
are
agree.
parts of London
that's why
you can't go in the evening.
Okay, but we're not bombing London to root out militant training camps.
But you have had so many of the bombing on behalf of the United Kingdom by the United States.
Since you're making rather spurious comparisons.
No, the context
11,000 people were killed in conflict in Nigeria in 2025. That is up from 8,700 in 2023. That is a 26% increase in the number of Nigerians killed since your party and your president came to office. That's a pretty awful record.
It's awful. And we're fighting hard day and night. But that's one of the reasons why the president traveled to Turkey, where we had bilateral agreement to deal with insecurity. That's why we're cooperating with the United States of America. That's why we're cooperating with any country of the world. The reason is because since 9/11, terrorism is a global phenomenon.
Agreed.
And so every country is involved in it.
But it's getting worse in Nigeria. That's the problem.
I can't say it is getting worse.
You just agreed with me when I gave you the numbers.
No, I
8,700 killed in 2023,
Right.
11,000 killed in 2025. That's getting worse.
Do you know the name Abubakar Bagudu? The masters appointed him as the Minister of Budget by the U.S. Department of Justice. The master's own allies say he helped Abacha siphon billions out of our pockets. Why does the master keep the fox in the hen house? The fox knows where the eggs are hidden. All those who are liking, sharing, commenting, I say thank you so much for the love you're showing to the channel. I really appreciate all of you. Let's go to the battlefield. London, Al Jazeera studio. Hassan vs. Bawala. Bawala went there thinking he was going to Channels or Arise, where he could dance around the questions. But Hassan is a deadly fact checker. He didn't bring opinions, he brought receipts. Did you not call Bola Tinubu a drug baron in 2023? Bawala, I never said that. It's all politics. Family, did you hear that? It's all politics. When he was in the opposition, he said the president was a criminal. Now that he has a seat at the table, he says the president is a savior. This is what we call anyhow belly face. Where your belly leads, your face follows. If the food is on his left, you are a revolutionary. If the food moves to the right, you are a loyalist. Why does this matter to you? The latest family in Ghana, in Mali, and in Niger. Because the master uses these people to gaslight you. They are logistic strategy and character assassination to keep the masses confused. They tell you the economy is bleeding for your own good. They tell you that removing fuel subsidy is paying for gain, while they buy new jets and SUVs for the elite. They use the media to black box the truth. They appoint advisors like Bawala to go on international TV and to tell the world that Amnesty International and Human Rights Watch are lying about the blood on the streets. But remember what Sankara told us, quote, he who feeds you, controls you, end of quote. Bawala is being fed. Bagudu is being fed. And while they eat, the Nigerian people are being told to fast. This is the fate of us. This is what they have been doing to us for centuries. But African youth, this is the time for us to wake up. Family, the master's mask is cracking. The master's mask is cracking. When an advisor can no longer defend the government without lying about his own past, the end is near. When the master has to reach into the Abacha loot bag to find a minister, the renewed hope is officially dead. We must stop being gullible public children, lapping out inconceivable promises. We must demand accountability, not ice cream and fine looks. Africa, wake up. Don't let the anywhere belly-faced politicians sell your future for a plate of potage. It is time for us all as a youth to rise up, united, to fight for the continent. If this place will become a better place, it is you and I. And that was why Dr. Kwame Nkrumah told the Ghanaians, arise Ghana youth for your country. The nation demands your devotion. This is to all of us in Africa. The continent needs our devotion. This is not for us to allow the politicians to control us. The time of them having the keys to the lock should be over, and we should take the keys because we should demand accountability from these our leaders. Listen to all that he said about the bombing concerning what happened in Nigeria. These leaders will always make sure they find one thing or the other to cover up their things. All that they do is to police themselves, to cover themselves and portray themselves as good to the world while we suffer, while we go hungry with the resources that we have not benefiting us. This is the time the African youth, we must come together united to fight for the continent that we have. We are the only ones that can set ourselves free. United we stand, divided we fall, and united we keep standing forever and ever. The greatest enemy of the African is mental slavery. So let's decolonize ourselves from mental slavery. Let's keep sharing to educate our brothers and sisters. Together we'll make Africa great for ourselves and the next generations that are going to come. So that's the latest around the world in Africa, West Africa, and in Nigeria.